How's it going, Twitch? My name is Skull, and on behalf of East Asia Soft, welcome to today's stream. Today I am continuing my playthrough of True Colors: A Date with Deception. Hello, Borealis, once again here to watch me play through this. We finished the Ash route last week. Today we are going to start on the Malik route. Also, a few housekeeping things here. So I've been rewatching older streams, and I've come to realize that my microphone's actually been a bit quiet in those older streams. So I've gone ahead and boosted my gain a little bit, starting with this stream. I think that this is a much better volume. If it's too loud, let me know and I'll dial it back a little bit, but I think that this is good. Hello, Dim. Something in my throat. Anyway. Also, I have lowered my webcam just a little bit. It's looking at me a lot more head-on now instead of up looking down. So if I look a little different, that's why. It's not much different, but it is different. So I'll try it this stream, see how I like it, and yeah. Anyway, enough of that chit-chat. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Oh, that's loud. We get to see the opening cutscene all over again. And it's not creepy at all. Nothing is as it seems. True Colors. New perspective, slightly set of events. Contains depictions of death. We didn't get that at all during Ash's route. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, Dim. I hope you feel better. Well, we can at least start by naming ourselves Skull as usual. So, we know a bit more about Idiot Skull. Since this is a completely different route, I'm willing to bet that the main conflict is probably going to be different somehow, but Skull is essentially the same person. Which means not a good person. Just don't get a bad ending, and it won't be an issue. Oh, I'm pretty sure that we want a bad ending. But yeah, no, I do not want bad endings. That's a bad. Well, would you look at that? Shadows under the eyes. Check. I should really stop having so many late night gaming marathons. Kinda messy hair. Check. Never does what I want it to anyway. Indifferent expression. Check. Yep. Everything I need for the day. Heh. I'm not depressed or apathetic, but I can't lie. My life is sorta uneventful. I have a decent job that's reliable enough. I never exactly had ambitions to work in an office, but it pays my bills and keeps a roof over my head, so I can't complain. Idiot Skull is reset back to factory settings. It sure is. Huh. It's a good thing I started this over because I completely forgot this opening cutscene, and I guess this actually does give a bit of a hint into the inner workings of Idiot Skull that you don't realize until afterwards. Plus, my coworkers are okay. I'm not that close friends with any of them, but they're fun to shoot jokes over the water cooler with. The office is a pretty relaxed place to be. There's just a distinct lack of... what's the right word? Excitement? I just feel like I'm not really going anywhere, you know? Repeating the same routines week after week is oddly comforting in its own way, but it's not exactly stimulating. This isn't the Idiot Skull of the past. This will be Moron Skull. And perhaps we will graduate from moron to imbecile. Or if we get really lucky or unlucky, fool. I feel like a fool is about the worst thing that a person can be. The same routine week after week. Isn't that what I'm doing right now, playing this game week after week? I love it, though. That's why I'm still playing it. The sneaky foreshadowing you put into this CG, you probably only notice after one playthrough. Like in this particular one that we're looking at right here, the very first time I noticed this, I did see that little streak of red on the mirror. I guess I don't know what I thought that was. I still don't quite know what that is actually. Yes, this one, a clue that suggests the protag isn't all that they seem. Maybe the weird colored dots on the wall. That's possible. I'm not really seeing anything else that sticks out. But then again, I guess then it wouldn't be so sneaky, would it? The ketchup stain on the shirt. It is ketchup, but it could be interpreted as blood. I thought it was on the mirror. It's on the shirt. I've lived alone in this apartment for a couple years now, doing the daily grind and not socializing outside of work. I'm single, don't have many hobbies, and I don't talk to my parents very often. We're not a close-knit family. Life is fine. You know, it's good enough. Sometimes it just feels a bit like a treadmill. Speaking of which, I better get off this treadmill of circling thoughts and get on the train to work, otherwise I'm going to be late. Time to begin another predictable, unremarkable day. Oh wait, I forgot one last vital piece of my daily ensemble. The ketchup stain that I totally forgot to attempt to wash out of this shirt. For God's sake, check. What is with the Looney Tunes sound effects right now? Well, I mean, clearly this is a different route, so I don't know what the conflict is going to be. I don't know what sort of horrible person this version of Idiot Skull is. I guess we're going to have to find out together. Probably not even this stream. Probably won't figure that out until next week. Made it in time. Another day, another dollar. The usual office sounds fill my ears as I walk to my section. The clickety-clack. You wanted to start comedic. Well, it certainly throws you off. It throws the reader off, doesn't it? It makes them think it's completely different. Despite, the warning that there is death in this visual novel. Start out with, it's a silly, harmless sort of a thing. And then they die. The clickety-clack of typing, the electronic whirs of printers firing out paperwork, and the clink of spoons against mugs of desperately needed morning coffee. I head around the corner to the bank of desks that houses my little team. There are only a few of us here, which makes it seem both isolated and weirdly cozy at the same time.
Yo!
Morning, Skull! Sneaking in just on time? He winks cheekily at me, and I chuckle. Don't worry, I wouldn't skip out on another thrilling day of this Anderson job.
I know.
Tell me about it. If this goes on for more than another week, I think my eyeballs are going to fall out. I snort in a laugh of agreement and plunk myself down at my desk. The coworker to my right rolls her chair backwards, shooting us both a look of disdain.
Morning.
They'd better not, Sean. You're both going to need your eyeballs so you can cry at the funeral. Funeral?
Oh, man.
Yeah, of my patients. It's today. The three of us burst into dark laughter, bonding over the agonizing mundaneness of our latest project. What's office life without losing the will to live every other day? Am I right? Yeah, Sean and Lydia are my immediate co-workers. We're not best buddies, but we've been on the same team for the whole time I worked here, and they helped me learn the job and get me on my feet. I guess it feels good to be an established member of the team now, even if we rarely talk about anything other than work. I shove my bag underneath my desk and boot up my computer, getting ready to begin the day. How's the volume, by the way? Like I said, I boosted my microphone by a few decibels. Is my voice clearer? Is it too loud? Can you guys even barely tell the difference? However, before I can do anything else, a new voice booms across the office that immediately causes everybody to look up.
All right.
It's Ozzy. It's the Wish.com Ozzy boss again. All right, everyone. If I could have your attention for the moment, to the front, please. The boss. Boss enters the room. I don't know what he wants, but we obediently abandon our desks to stand in a line in front of him.
Now then.
Good morning to all of you. If you recall my memo from last week, I mentioned that we were working to secure some new members of staff to join your division. I'll remember that then, or I'll try to anyway. Oh, that does ring a bell. I'd forgotten about it, but we were promised some new additions to the office. I guess we're about to find out what the situation is. I'm glad to say that we've been successful, so without further ado, let me introduce you to your new co-workers. He steps aside, gesturing to a small group of people lingering behind him. At his encouragement, they awkwardly tiptoe forward, regarding us all with both curiosity and unfamiliarity. Ash, our beloved. 3 new hires, huh? That's definitely going to make the office more lively. I figured that the reason I'm doing Malik next is I kind of figured it would spread it out evenly. We start with Ash, the gender neutral, but born female. We got Malik, who's the male, and then we end it with Brianna, who's, female. So I just felt like that would balance it out pretty well. Casting a quick eye across them all, I notice how different they are in both look and demeanor.
All right.
Welcome aboard, folks. This is the rest of your section. We have Sean.
Oh, hey.
Sean gives a trademark boyish grin and a slightly over-theatrical bow at the mention of his name. Skull! I raise a hand, nodding to them all briefly.
Now then.
And Lydia.
Hey.
Lydia's shoulders bounce upward as she smiles brightly.
Understood.
These 3 will be your superiors until you find your place in the team, and will be here to train you in every aspect of the job. You'll be working together closely from now on, so be sure to get acquainted with each other. The new hires nod, their eyes flitting between us as though trying to memorize our names and faces quickly. I am very, very bad with names. There are some people that I've known for like months, and I don't know what their name is, because I just can't remember. And then I get too embarrassed to ask them. So, I'm so bad with names.
Now then.
Why don't you introduce yourselves? He gestures to the 3 of them invitingly. Better with faces. Hey, I recognize Ash's face. There's a moment of hesitation as they all silently glance at each other, wondering who's going to go first. After a second, the girl in the middle takes the initiative and jumps in.
Hi.
I guess I'll start then. I'm Brianna. Nice to meet you all.
Thanks.
I'm honored to be working with you, and I hope to become a genuine asset to the team. Thanks for having me. Boy, she's perky. Boy, I hope nothing bad happens to her. She smiles and wrings her hands slightly as she speaks. Her tone is pleasant, but that spiel seemed pretty stiff and predetermined, almost as if she'd rehearsed a script. Perhaps she's just nervous. After stepping backward a little, she looks between the two remaining new hires for the next introduction. This time, the guy on the left moves to face us with an easy smile.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, I'm Malik. Really nice meeting you all. This is my first time in a role like this, but I promise I'm a quick learner.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I make a mean cappuccino to stave off those Monday blues.
Hey.
He punctuates this last statement with a pair of finger guns. Wow, both hands and everything. Everyone giggles and the atmosphere warms slightly. He chuckles at himself before stepping back into line. All eyes now fall upon the only person who hasn't spoken yet, lingering shyly on the right. He looks as though he'd rather not have to talk at all, and I get it. Introducing yourself to strangers can be awkward sometimes. Wait, she... Which injures this person? I automatically feel rude about my confusion, but I actually can't tell. They have a very androgynous look about them. Oh, we know. We know full well. And we respect it. After a moment of hesitation, they seem to brace themselves and pipe up at last.
Hey.
I'm Ash. You guys seem nice. Thanks for taking me on board. They go silent, clamping up in embarrassment. Their face turns slightly red.
Yeah.
With that clumsy ending, they step back sheepishly, fixing their gaze onto the floor and waiting for someone else to say something. I guess they're not very good at socializing. Or maybe it's just a new people thing. Thankfully, no one makes a fuss over it, and the boss chimes in again.
All
Alright, I think you lot can get started. I know it's always difficult on the first day, so for now, just take some time to go around and learn about the different tasks that'll be expected of you. Your superiors will be on hand to brief you on everything and answer any questions you may have. He throws a hand toward me, Sean, and Lydia. We all nod dutifully. I guess we've got a lot of explaining and demonstrating to do.
Good job.
Okay, I'll leave you all to it. Any issues, you know where to find me. With a curt smile, he strides away toward his office, leaving the six of us to figure out this new situation together. Friendly as always, Lydia takes the lead straight away.
Oh?
Well, I guess you guys should see the office and the different divisions, right? Shall I give you a little tour? The three new hires nod eagerly, seeming happy to be leaving the awkwardness of introductions behind them.
Okay.
No problem. Come this way. She beckons the group over with an energetic wave. They burst into action, following along behind her closely. While she's showing them around, I think I'll set up my database so that I can give a little demo of how it works. So Borealis, I got a question for you. How long did it take for you to write this? Like, you could answer that whether it be like the vast majority of it, like, or anything like the from the day that you wrote your first idea of the story to the day that you finished editing when it was about to be released, like, or you could just tell me, about how long it took to just write the script. How long did it take for you to actually write the story? All of these words that I'm reading out loud. It's November right now, and the thing there still is what's it called? A challenge, I suppose, called National Novel Writing Month. The people in charge of that this year have decided that generative AI is not only allowed but encouraged, so I'm not using them anymore or even acknowledging their existence, but I'm still trying to do the challenge. And the challenge is essentially to write 50,000 words in the month of November. So far, today is November 3rd, and I've written over 8,000, so I'm far, far ahead of my goal. 50,000 words is the length of a novel, a length of a short novel, but a novel nonetheless. So the idea is to write an entire story in a single month. And I'm sure that this visual novel probably has more than that. And I'm also positive, Borealis, you did not do all of this in a single month. I'm just curious to know, I'm in the middle of writing right now. My mindset's in writing. I've written over 1,200 words so far today, and I'm going to write more after the stream's over. I'm just curious to know, like, how long did it take? Just for my own curiosity. I tap away for a few minutes, trying to mentally prepare a sort of how to do this job 101 presentation in my head. When I've got everything as organized as I can, I stand up and catch Sean's eye. Ready to give them the lowdown?
All right.
You bet! Let's do this thing! We stride into the adjoining office with a little more spring in our steps than usual. I guess welcoming new people makes today feel a bit like recess rather than a regular workday. Like a pair of slightly giddy teens on a field trip, Sean and I cast around for something helpful to do. After a moment, Sean spots whatever his target is and makes a beeline toward it.
Sweet.
All right, time to mingle. He flashes me another smirk before disappearing across the maze of desks. I guess I'd better get involved too. Seems like Lydia's tour has come to an end. The new hires are now scattered around the place, talking to various people and checking out the different sections of the office. I think I'll go and introduce myself properly. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not believe that this option actually matters. Like, this does not determine the route I take. I'm pretty sure. Oh, 7 months. That's pretty respectable. Not bad. How long was it compared to writing the script for Venus? Because this has more routes. This, I feel like, is a longer game in general. So I feel like the script, like the actual process of writing the script, took longer, but maybe the premise of Venus and polishing it up and stuff took longer because it was your first VN. Yeah, what was the difference? Let's start with Brianna. Looking around, I spy Brianna in the middle of the office talking to Sean. Heh, of course. Say pretty girl, and Sean's there. Preparing to third wheel him out of his flirting game, I stroll over. Hey, how's it going? Brianna turns to me as I speak, seeming open to having a third person join the conversation. Oh, wow, that is impressive. 14,000 words in just 2.5 weeks. Wow. Good job. Heh. Take that, Sean.
Hey.
Hi. Skull, was it? Yep, remembered well. She smiles briefly. Thanks. I'm Brianna. Although I guess I already told you that. She shuffles awkwardly for a second with an airy giggle. Definitely nervous.
Oh, hey.
I was just saying how nice it is to have someone so eager to impress on the team. I bet you were, you not-so-smooth operator.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I can't wait to get started. I'll do my best to contribute to your already stellar workforce and produce the best results possible. Not gonna lie, her enthusiasm is a bit intense. Is that a clue about what will happen in her route? I guess we'll find out in a few months when I get to her route. It's probably just first day jitters, though. I doubt she's actually this stiff and formal all the time.
All right.
But man, she's wearing a really nice dress. Well, looking forward to it. He shoots Brianna a grin before shuffling away to talk to someone else. I guess all this boring work talk has squashed all the chat-up lines out of him. Once he disappears, Brianna turns to face me more directly. Her expression snaps back to attention again, as though waiting for instructions. There's no need for her to stand on ceremony like this. You know, this place is pretty relaxed. You don't need to worry about being super professional and serious all the time. Well, I'm sure writing fast does help a lot. My typing speed's 100 words a minute. My wife has actually noticed, I didn't even notice this myself, but whenever I write, I don't even look at my screen. I just sort of look over here, just off into space somewhere. I think as I write. And a lot of the time, what I want to say comes naturally to me. And when it doesn't, I just skip that section and go to whatever the next one is. So, yeah, it's writing fast is nice. She regards me for a moment, frozen in thought. Then she seems to loosen up a little at last, exhaling a laugh.
Sorry.
You're right. Sorry. I'm being way too corporate, aren't I? She grins in disdain at herself, and I smile back. I was just worried about making a good impression today. I really want the boss to feel like he made the right decision in hiring me. I want to learn as much as I can so I can become a decent member of the team quickly and not slow you guys down. Well, that's really thoughtful and all, but you know the first day of the job is never that productive, right? You have so many new names to learn, desktop backgrounds to pick out, and bathrooms to memorize the locations of. The actual work doesn't tend to start until the day after. She laughs, and this time it's not an anxious giggle, but a genuine chuckle.
Nice.
Of course, I should have seen that coming. I'd better spend the afternoon learning everyone's favorite candy and who's secretly dating who, right? Exactly. As we banter idly, I find myself admiring how much more warm and open she seems now that she's not stuck in work mode. It'll be much easier to get to know her this way. I mean, I'm easy. I know where all my candy is because it's in my cupboard, and I know where my bathroom is because it's like 10 feet away. One of the benefits of working from home is you know exactly where everything is.
By the way,
You don't have to worry about your coworkers stealing anything. Anyway, so I was wondering... She straightens up and reins her smile back in, as though someone pressed a stop slacking button. Won't be? Rats. What will be?
can I ask you something?
Is there a specific method or schedule that you guys stick to when collating your data? Collating? Do you all discuss it as a group, or is it more individually based? Sag. Damn, I guess I spoke too soon. Miss Professional is back. Why do I feel like that's going to be part of her conflict? Accepting that she's clearly too focused on learning the job to chat casually right now, I start explaining things. I didn't go into huge detail yet since it's only day one, but I give her a general overview of how the team works. She watches me intently as I speak, as though soaking up all the information like a sponge. I have to hand it to her. She's laser focused. She's probably going to outperform myself, Lydia, and Sean once she gets going. When I run out of things to say for now, she claps her hands together with an energetic smile.
Thanks.
That's all really helpful, Skull. Thanks a lot. No worries. I'll leave you to chat with the others. I probably shouldn't hog her time.
Okay, sure.
Oh, yeah, sure. It was great talking with you. Thanks again. She beams momentarily before striding away to join a nearby group of workers. When you ignore the fact that 90% of her conversations revolve around quizzing you about work, she's actually quite lively and bubbly. I bet she's fun to talk to when she's more chilled out. Let's save Malik for last. I take a stroll into the far room. After scanning the faces, I notice one that sticks out from the rest, Ash. He looks a bit frazzled, sandwiched between Lydia and Sean as they chatter at him animatedly. Maybe I should join the party and try to calm things down a bit. I make my way over, eyeing Ash curiously as I go. I still can't quite figure out what gender this person is. I feel guilty no matter what pronoun my mind jumps to, in case it's not right. Hopefully once we start talking properly, it'll become clear. What's up, guys?
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey, Skull! We're just giving Ash the scoop on how each division works.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you gotta get a hold of all the office politics now before you get dragged into the vortex yourself. Lydia and Sean grin, but Ash's expression stays a bit tense as they nod.
Ugh, I know.
Here's another tip. If you ever forget to refill the printer paper when Jamie's in, you're going to hear about it for weeks.
Oh, man.
And no amount of begging will get Barbara to do you any favors. Induce her wrath at your own peril. They giggle again. Ash continues to nod along, but they still look quite bewildered, like a deer in the headlights. I think this many people talking all at once is too much for their shy personality to take, especially on the first day. Yeah, basically, but it's also saving Malik for last. Like, saving his introduction for last means that it'll be freshest in my mind. Going through his route. That's just my logic. Don't know how true it is. Well, it's a good job Ash is mainly working with us three, right? You hit the jackpot there. No drama with us. I direct the last part of my sentence at Ash, with what I hope is an encouraging smile.
You know it.
Absolutely. We're the coolest gang in the building, no doubt.
Really?
Oh, really? Yeah, it'll be easy once you get started. Oh yeah, what's that, Dim? Anyway, first days are for taking things slow, right? You can't learn everything at once, so don't worry about it. I kind of look around at all three of them as I say this, hoping that Sean and Lydia will get the hint that they should probably lay off for a bit. Thankfully, it seems to work. Yeah, you're right. Go write yourself a list of all the little knickknacks you're going to decorate your desk with. Work can start tomorrow. He catches Lydia's eye, and they start to stride away. Since you know Ash now a bit, it will be fun to see what changed now that you're not trying to get in a relationship with them. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's interesting. We'll be able to actually observe Ash from a distance in a not interactive way. That's and we get to see if their personality changes and stuff. That's absolutely true.
See you around.
See you later. Whew, that's better. The pair of them aren't exactly boisterous, but Ash seems to be a little on the timid side. I don't want them getting overwhelmed the second they arrive here. I glance at them as they hover awkwardly. The deer in the headlights look has dimmed slightly, but there's still a sense of caution there. Sorry if they were a bit loud. You'll get used to them.
Oh.
Yeah. I carry on, trying to make my voice a little softer. So, there are quite a few tasks you'll need to do here on a regular basis, but I can show you all you need to know. We have a great online system that organizes the team, so knowing what to do next is pretty simple. Ash nods again, more slowly this time.
Oh, okay.
That sounds good. Also, They fidget bashfully for a second. When they speak again, though, their tone is lighter.
Thanks.
Thanks for taking the edge off things just then. With Sean and Lydia, I mean. Oh, no problem. You kind of looked like you were being eaten alive when I walked into the room, so I thought I'd better nudge them away to find another victim. They actually laugh at this, to my surprise. It's a soft, quick giggle, but it's sort of cute.
Right.
Yeah, it was a bit intense. It's not that I'm nervous exactly. I'm just not great at getting used to new situations. Well, that's pretty common, I think. Plus, first days at new places are always weird. They nod more vigorously, seeming slightly more relaxed now.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, anyway, thanks. Anytime. They send another tiny smile my way. I shoot one back, enjoying the warmth of it. I bet they're a really nice person underneath all that shyness. I also find their quieter energy a pleasant contrast to the rest of the office. Not everyone has to be loud and chatty all the time.
Hey,
I think I'll go and check out my desk. Sure, see you around. Ash nods once more and then heads out of the room. Well, that was... Wait. Oh, balls! I still haven't figured out this gender thing, have I? Nothing Ash said in that conversation made it any more obvious, and it's not like I can even judge based on a name. Ash is unisex, right? Well, call me Sherlock, because I've got a mystery to solve. And finally, our route of choice for this playthrough. I wander back toward my section, spotting Malik and Lydia having a chat between the desks. They look like they're enjoying themselves. Wanting to get in on the fun, I join them.
Nice to see you again.
Oh, you're Skull, right? Nice to meet you properly. He extends a hand and I shake it. It's not a typical business-like handshake, though. It's more like a bro shake. He's one of those cool types.
Hey.
I think we lucked out with this one. She jerks her head towards Malik as she says it.
Awesome.
He wasn't lying about those coffee skills. I feel like I should have paid about $12 for this in some hipster brewery. She jiggles her mug under my nose, and I got a tantalizing whiff of coffee and hot, foamy milk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah! You'll have to get your order in, Skull. Gotta butter you up for all the work-related favors I'm inevitably going to need to ask for in the future. He cracks a grin, and I feel my own smile widening to match. Alright, I'll try to come up with the most complicated drink I can imagine. He chuckles warmly.
What's the deal?
So Malik, what made you apply to work here? There are plenty of jobs in a city like this, right? Why pick us? He replies almost immediately. Money. Job applicants. What makes you want to work for our company? Well, I've always enjoyed the thought of getting paid. He barks a laugh to show that he's only messing around, and both Lydia and I giggle at his wisecracking.
In fact.
Okay, no, but seriously. He drops the jokes and starts to talk about how he found the job. It's not a thrilling conversation, but I find myself getting drawn in nonetheless. I've always been very passionate about being able to afford food. It's like you go to McDonald's and they spend like an hour interviewing you. What makes you think that you'd be a great team player? Like, dude, I can flip a burger. Just what more do you need from me? I think it's how friendly and chilled out this guy seems. He's not super formal like Brianna or awkward and shy like Ash. He has a real calm, carefree vibe about him. As I resurface from my thoughts, I realize that talk has shifted toward work.
Oh?
You just reminded me, actually. Do you know how to program formulas on a spreadsheet? It'd make things so much quicker. Basically, yeah. I'm sure you guys know some secret tricks and tips, though. How do you tend to do it? He and Lydia start comparing formulas, and I notice how he tightens up his act just enough to be considered professional. He's got both sides going for him. Nice. When they're done discussing the joys of spreadsheets, I jump back in. So, how are you feeling about the job, Malik? Think you're enjoying work? You think you'll enjoy working here?
Sure thing.
All they do in California. Oh, I reckon so. I have to admit, this is something of a big change for me. I haven't worked in this kind of environment before. I'm not too worried, though. I feel like I should be able to get up to speed in decent time, and, well, I like learning new things. My brain just stopped working right there. Besides, you all seem really nice. I'm looking forward to hanging out and getting to know you all a bit better. He smiles as he says this, and his warm energy seems to permeate the room. Right back at you, dude. He nods at me with quiet appreciation, and I return it. Well, I mean, there's also the whole E. coli thing going on right now. I'm trying to remember when the last time was I drove through McDonald's. It was probably way back in April. It has been a while. It's just gotten so expensive that I just, like, it's really hard to justify dropping $15 on a fast food meal. That's, you know, in a pinch, if I'm really hungry on the road, it's fine. But, like, if I'm driving around my hometown and I get hungry and I'm tempted by McDonald's, I have to remind myself, for that same amount of money, I could go to the store and buy enough meals to feed me for 2.5 days. It's just really hard to justify it. He nods at me with quiet appreciation, and I return it. I think he's going to be nice to have around. The rest of the day had actually flown by with all the socializing, demonstrating, and showing around. By the time we all exit out into the late afternoon light, I feel both tired and strangely energized at the same time.
Awesome.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your first day, guys. Tomorrow's when the real fun begins.
Aww.
Yep, we'll have to actually do some work. Damn it. Everyone giggles, and I loiter beside Sean and Lydia as we gaze at the new hires. I hope that their experience of the office has been a good one so far.
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's been real. Looking forward to tomorrow. He regards us all with ease, as though he's already known us for months.
I appreciate that.
I've got some errands to run, so I gotta bounce. But thanks again for everything. Good luck to you both, too. He turns to Ash and Brianna as he says that last part, beaming warmly at them.
Thanks.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catch you on the flip side.
All right. Peace. He sets off at a relaxed pace, disappearing into the crowd of commuters around us. I think I'm going to head off too. They seem kind of anxious to follow Malik's lead to go home for the day. It's probably only out of social exhaustion, though, so I don't mind the quick escape.
Okay.
Oh, okay. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks for the help. See ya. They scuttle away at a fast pace, probably relieved to be able to go home and recharge. Brianna then turns to us all, a business-like smile plastered onto her face.
That's great.
I'm really grateful to you all for such a warm welcome. I'll definitely be pulling my weight tomorrow and learning everything I can. The professional air never quite leaves her, does it? She almost looks as though she'd like to stand here talking about email templates for another hour.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you will, Blondie. See you tomorrow. He winks at her and she exhales a high laugh before waving and leaving at last. You know, I figured it out. Her conflict, the conflict of her story, she's not a natural blonde. It's dyed. And when Idiot Skull finds out, chaos.
Huh?
What do you think? The boss made some decent choices, right? Yeah, I think so. Hopefully once they're all settled in, our workload won't be as big and we can chill out a bit. Hey, don't go getting ahead of yourself. We still have to finish that Anderson project before then. We all groan in unison before bursting into laughter.
Laters.
Right, see you guys tomorrow. Ditto, buddy. Catch you 2 in the morning. Both of them throw their hands up in a casual wave, leaving me to head to the train station. Home sweet home. What is this? What is this a picture of? What is that? It looks like it's just a picture of like a Jenga tower or a close-up of a cross stitch, or what is that? What a weird picture to put in your house. Anyway, if you want horror, you will only have to see a picture of Skull in the morning. Looking in a mirror every single day is horror enough. I throw my keys and bag onto the table and plop myself down on the couch. I'll think about what to have for dinner in a minute. It's just a random pattern in a frame. It sure is. It's... Okay, Idiot Skull has a thing for random patterns. Bring guests over, they look at it, it's like, oh, what is this? Oh, this was a pattern that was sewn by this one person who lived in the Victorian era. I saw it in a museum once and I just had to have it in my house. Tells you all you need to know, honestly. Well, today was certainly more interesting than usual. I guess I got my wish after all that grumbling I did this morning about having a boring routine. And a ketchup stain on your shirt, don't forget that. My mind automatically flits between the 3 new hires I met. Brianna's definitely the most forward of the bunch, always talking and looking for something new to learn or do. I admire her focus, but I also hope to get to see a bit more of the real Brianna once she's settled into her routine. I reckon there's actually a carefree and fun streak behind the workplace mask she wears. Malik is a total anchor. He seems really chilled, comfortable in his own skin, and confident without being cocky. He's also super friendly and equally nice to everyone. He'll be a positive influence in the office, no doubt. Ash is our beloved. We know everything about Ash now, so Idiot Skull is just ignorant. Ash is an enigma. They could come across as detached and maybe even rude, but that's definitely not it. I can tell that there's a much more open person under there somewhere, and I really hope they can relax enough to let it show as time goes on. Moron Skull. Yes, Moron Skull knows everything about Ash. Idiot Skull doesn't. Yes. No, Idiot Skull is gone in that route. Idiot Skull is back for this one, and he's an even bigger idiot now. Just you wait and see. I am curious about them. Him, her, oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. All things considered, work life is going to be a bit different for a while, and I'm happy for the change. Hi, Andrea. Tomorrow has arrived, and Lydia, Sean, and I have been summoned to see the boss. Not the loveliest place to start your Friday, but I doubt we're in trouble. He probably just wants to ask us to do something. Oh, here he is. Ah, you 3. Very good. How did you find yesterday? Do you think the new blood will fit in well with the team? Definitely, they're great. Sean and Lydia offer similar compliments, and he nods in satisfaction.
Now then.
Glad to hear it. Now, on to why I asked you here. And hello, Hanzo Kotomi. I hope I pronounced that right. Hanzo Kotomi. I'm sure these new hires will be able to learn their roles just fine. However, it'd speed things up a bit if they had a designated person to help them through and really show them their ropes on a one-to-one basis. There's 3 of them and 3 of you, so it makes sense, don't you think? How about all of you decide which one you'd like to mentor and let them sort of shadow you for the time being until they find their feet? We exchange surprised but approving glances. Seems like a good plan. In the event that there's anyone from Australia watching this, I'm sorry. I apologize, but that's just what he sounds like. I don't make the rules. Borealis is in here, who made this game and handpicked someone specifically to be the voice of this guy, who wasn't me, but nonetheless, that's what he sounds like. As we nod and emit mumbles of agreement, he folds his arms, looking pleased.
All right.
Perfect. That's that then. Figure it out between you and get to work. I'm sure the new folks will appreciate it. Off you go now. He shoos us out of his office half jokingly, and we head back toward our section.
Huh?
So, what do you think? Got your eye on anyone?
Oh?
I'm not sure. I could probably work with any of them. What about you, Skull? Do you have someone in mind? Her question causes my gaze to wander across the room, landing on each new person in turn and mulling it over. It's Malik O'Clock. I'm sure I'd get along decently with all three, but if I had to spend more time with just one of them, then... The answer is Ash. Honestly, the answer is Ash. But we've already done the Ash route and we need to do something else. I feel like Malik would be a good choice. He's laid back, friendly as heck, and seems like he'll learn the job decently. From here on out, uncharted waters. No idea what's going to happen next. I imagine teaching him would be more like hanging out with a buddy than the soulless, formal attire that it could be with other people. How about I take Malik? It's a fair, not attire, my goodness. How about I take Malik? Is that okay?
Sweet.
Sounds good to me. My fight to get close to Brianna now has one less opponent.
Jeez.
Oh my god, Sean, you're the worst. The three of us giggle. Sean's definitely joking. Well, half joking, at least.
Okay.
Go on, Skull. Get out of here before he starts planning their wedding. I'll duke it out with him. I nod with a grin and stride away, searching for Malik. Thankfully, I don't need to look very hard. He is loitering by his newly allocated desk, musing over what to do first. Hey Malik, how are you doing?
Yo, what's up?
Skull! I'm good. Just trying to figure out the best starting point here. I can help you with that, actually. The boss just gave me, Lydia, and Sean the task of mentoring you newbies one-on-one so you can get up to speed. I'm down to give you a crash course if it's okay with you.
Totally.
Oh, that sounds great! Just what I need. Thanks, Skull. We smile warmly at each other, and I'm expecting him to make another classic Malik joke. To my surprise, he actually reins himself in, looking almost serious. Oh, now I'm curious, Borealis, which of these routes did you write first? Or was it the sort of thing where you sort of wrote a little of them at a time and spread it out? The Samsung logo is on that laptop. It's really hard to see on stream, but I'm looking at it on the video. The Samsung logo is there, but it's backwards and very, very pixelated. It's Smaznug, non-copyrighted.
Hey,
We good to get started then? Your desk or mine? Oh, alright. Business time it is then. We spend a couple of hours going through riveting stuff like how to use the database and processing invoices. I'm actually kind of disappointed. I was hoping that Malik's relaxed comedic humor would make the process more fun. He's definitely still chilled out, but he's being a lot more focused than I expected. Look, honestly, Dim, if I didn't know what the Samsung logo looked like, I never would have figured that out, but I just know it because I see it all the time in all my stuff. I'm a Samsung loyalist, so yeah, that's the only reason I know it. It's no big deal. Okay, so it looks like I'm doing it in the exact opposite order of how you originally wrote it then, huh? That's interesting. I guess he wants to make sure he knows what he's doing instead of goofing around all the time. Smart, honestly. So then you just hit publish and it makes it accessible to everyone in the office. Does that make sense?
okay.
Yeah, I think I got it. Sounds easy enough. He jots a few instructions down on a notepad for future reference. Alright, well, I think that just about covers that part. We can move on to something else if you like. He nods, but then leans back in his chair a little restlessly.
Hey,
That. He almost looks mischievous for a second.
I was thinking.
You reckon we can sneak away for lunch yet? My brain's getting tired and my stomach's yelling at me. He breaks into a toothy grin and I chuckle. I won't lie, rest from all this boring crap sounds good. That absolutely makes sense, you know, that that's the same reason why I can't write more than one thing at a time. If I'm writing a long story, I can't start another long story. Otherwise, then I just don't feel like working on either of them because it's just too much. So yeah, I absolutely get it. Excuse me. Oh, that's a good question then, yeah. Checking the time, I see that it's not actually that early. People will start heading off to eat soon anyway. We can do lunch now. Are you an adventurer or an office picnic kind of guy?
In fact,
Actually, I was wondering if you had any recommendations for me. I'm not from around here, you see. Only moved recently. I haven't found any sweet food spots yet. Oh, well, I tend to go to the same cafe most days, as we've learned. It's not too far from here, and the food's always good. They serve a range of different things. We can eat there if you want to check it out.
sure thing.
Sounds good. I'm in. You gonna give me a tour of the city while we walk there, though, right? And recommend all the best dishes? Aha! There's the playful Malik I was waiting for. Of course. I'll lead you on a 30-minute hike of the local area and then order all your food for you. No complaints. Malik laughs cheerfully, throwing his hands up in mock surrender. Have mercy! Have mercy! All right, let's go. This cafe looks familiar. Aw, no, not the burger and fries. It's okay. It's okay. Me and my wife took a date to Red Robin a few nights ago, and it was delicious. It was on my mind ever since we saw the CG during the Ash route, and I asked, can we go to Red Robin for our next date? And we did. Perfect. Thank you, Borealis. You made me pick some very yummy food. A very yummy meal, some very yummy food. It just sort of got mixed up. You weren't kidding, Skull. This is a nice place. Menu's good too. Thanks for bringing me here. He digs enthusiastically into his bowl of noodles, and I smile. No problem. I've been coming here for years, since I first started working here. I'm surprised the staff haven't started calling me by name at this point. We giggle.
Hey,
So how long is that? When did you get the job? 4 years ago now? I know the city quite well, though. I grew up not too far away and moved here in my late teens once I left home. Are we going to get some subtle hints at what's to come? He nods with interest. What about you? You said you only just got here.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I moved in a few months ago. Quite a big change. I'm from a pretty rural town originally. I'm sort of a long way from home. He tells me the name of his hometown, but I haven't heard of it. What made you decide to move so far away? He lowers his fork, and his eyes wander around the room as he considers my question. I think I just needed to change the scenery. Get away from all the over-familiar stuff, you know? I never really ventured out much when I was younger, but I felt like it'd be good for me to throw myself into a different situation. Unexplored territory. Feels like a fresh start. A new direction in life sounded pretty nice to me. I like a challenge. He shoots me a contented look, and I smile back at him. He seems quite confident in himself. I do miss my family sometimes, though. At least we have video calls, right? Huh. Are you quite close then? His expression instantly becomes flooded with fondness when I ask this. It's always nice when you're close to your family. It's unfortunate that it's such a rare thing these days.
Totally.
Oh yeah, totally. My parents are my rocks, and I've always been best buddies with my younger sister. That was the only hard part about moving here, leaving them behind. I've never been more than a short drive away until now. It's alright though. They're the kind of family that are happy as long as you're happy, and they supported my decision. And I feel good about this place, honestly. I've not been here very long yet, but I think it was the right move for me. He smiles with satisfaction, tucking into his noodles again. As he munches away, I contemplate him curiously. I can't properly empathize with the family thing myself. I don't have much contact with my own parents. We've never been as close as what Malik described, and I don't have any siblings either. Everyone's family dynamics are different, though. Haven't already got a feel for Malik's warm, open demeanor. I think a close-knit family background makes complete sense for him. He seems to have a lot of love to give. Somehow, hearing that little snippet of background information makes me like him more.
Oh?
Man, we better finish our food! Look at the time! Confused, I check my phone, gasping at how late it is. I think we did a bit too much chilling out. Oops! Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Exactly.
You know it! He winks smoothly at me, and I have to fight back laughter as we both start practically inhaling the rest of our lunches. If I have indigestion after this, I'm blaming him. Oh man, imagine eating like a nice big bowl of noodles and then having to run back to work. Oh man, my stomach would be in so much pain. Thankfully, we hadn't been reprimanded when we rushed back into the office, and I didn't get heartburn. Double win! We'd spent the afternoon going through more work-related things. This time Malik was more easygoing, like I'd expected him to be. I think our lunchtime chat loosened him up. After trawling through spreadsheets and cracking a joke or two, we sigh with relief as 5 p.m. hits. The end of the day. Freedom! This is something I'm curious about. Why do people say freedom? Why do they say that? Who is Dom and why does he need to be freed?
Awesome.
Just wanted to say, good work everyone. That was a great first proper day on the job.
Sweet.
I second that! Gold stars all around. I hum in agreement, giving the thumbs up. Everyone smiles and the new hires nod in thanks. Once we get our things together, all 6 of us seem to hover expectantly, glancing around and wondering who's going to walk with who as we leave. Free Dom 2024, right. We will not stop until Dom has been freed. There are dozens of us. Dozens. Well, I mean, Dom is a real word in English too, just it doesn't mean dumb though. Malik, Brianna, and Ash are probably feeling a bit awkward, having still not been here long enough to make proper friends with anyone. I'm about to turn to Sean and Lydia to suggest we all just leave as a group to keep things simple. However, before I know it, Malik has appeared in front of me with his trademark grin.
Sup?
So, any plans for tonight? Probably just the usual, gaming, TV, and thinking about anything except work. I feel that. At least we have the weekend now. No more database until Monday. We share a smile. It's then that I realize that Malik's begun to walk across the office toward the stairs, and I've automatically followed alongside him. I guess we're leaving together as a pair. Suits me. As we come to a halt on the sidewalk, I turn back and spot the rest of our section filing. It's not spilling. Wow. And spot the rest of our section filing out of the building together. I guess we were the only ones that splintered off.
Oh, thanks.
By the way, thanks for all the help today, Skull. I feel like I'll be able to get things going on my own next week. Don't mention it. I'm glad I could help.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it kind of interesting how like you start a new job and like at the very beginning you're like convinced it'll take you months to get used to everything, but then by the end of your first or second week, it's like it's second nature to you for the most part. Like it's kind of crazy how quickly we actually can adapt to a new job. It's not like we'll be experts at it in any way, but like you start a job and you're pretty much good to go within just a few days. It's always been really interesting to me. Oh, and I appreciate the lunch recommendation too. I really enjoyed it.
In fact,
If I get addicted and end up going there every day, it's officially your fault. I laugh, glad that he had a good time.
I was thinking.
You know... He stops grinning for a moment, looking almost hopeful. It'd be cool if you and I could maybe check out some more of the city sometime, if you'd be up for it. Like I said, I still don't know this place very well, and you're a good tour guide. I bet you know all the best spots to have fun here. Ash's place. If you ever fancy it and you're not busy sometime. Oh, he's inviting me to hang out away from work. I'm kind of surprised, and also really flattered. I wasn't sure if I was cool enough for someone like Malik. He seems like he's on another level sometimes. I think I'd really like that. Sure thing. And hey, it's the weekend, right? Want to do something tomorrow or Sunday? I wonder if that's too forward, but my doubts are swept away when he smiles in response.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! No wasting time. I like that.
Hey,
What kind of things do you like to do? I've been meaning to check out the big sports center, but haven't got around to it yet. Sports? I'm not a particularly athletic person myself, but I could make an exception for him. I know the place. We can meet there if you like.
okay.
Alright, sounds great. We swapped phone numbers and I feel myself getting excited.
Yeah?
Alright, 11 a.m. sharp. I'll be there.
Sweet.
Sweet! See you then. He raises a hand in a usual wave before heading off down the street. I watch him go for a few seconds, growing suddenly optimistic. Today has made me feel pretty good. Our chat during lunch had been nice, finding out more about each other and learning how caring and adventurous he is. That alone would have been enough, but now he wants to get together with me outside of work? Huh. I must be cooler than I give myself credit for. The two of us doing sports together, doing anything together, it's such a welcome thought. When was the last time I got invited anywhere that wasn't just Sean and Lydia dragging me to a cafe for an extra caffeine boost after a hard day? I genuinely can't remember. My chest hums slightly with a warm feeling, and I find myself looking forward to tomorrow. Stepping out of my reverie, I realize that everyone else has already left. They must have all said goodbye and gone while Malik and I were making plans. Turning on my heel, I head off toward home, feeling a little tinge of optimism. Finally, something fun is happening in this dull life of mine. What's your secret this time, Skull? This is a different place. Yeah, this is it. I come to a stop outside the sports center. I've walked past it before, but never been inside. In fact, everything about this seems pretty alien. I'm wearing workout clothes for the first time, and I don't even know. I'm definitely more of a couch potato, but I don't mind doing something active with Malik today. If anything, I could use the exercise. He's doing me a favor. Oh, there he is.
Yo, what's up?
Perfect attire. Love it. Yo, right on time. He jogs to a halt in front of me, seeming peppy and energetic. Yep, just got here.
Yeah?
Ready to get your swole on? I'm not sure about swole, but I'll do my best. We share a grin and head inside. Malik casual outfit unlocked. To my relief, Malik leads me past all the intimidating gym equipment, treadmills, and weights. Thank God! I don't think my noodle arms have lifted anything heavier than a stack of paperwork for years. We go right through the building, exiting out into the rear courtyard. There are various nets set up amid chalk markings on the floor. Some people are already mid-game, darting around and swinging different shaped rackets. This is probably more my scene.
I was thinking.
I was thinking badminton, if that's cool with you. Lightweight racket, lightweight shuttlecock, the easiest one he could have picked. Sure, let's do it. You can't see it, but this face like looks like the most, this CG of Skull right now is like, that is a look of the biggest relief I've ever seen. Like, yes, Malik, thank you for not destroying me today. I wouldn't last 5 minutes on the track. We head to the equipment area, grabbing everything we need. Then we walk around the courts until we find a free one near the edge of the yard. Before we get started, Malik puts his stuff on the ground, and starts circling his arms around in the air.
Sweet.
Better get some stretches in first. Oh, right, of course. Snaggletooth. I copy him, pretending that I was totally about to do the same thing. Taking subtle glimpses of him while we warm up, I notice just how muscular his frame is. It's not as obvious in his office clothes, but this sports gear really emphasizes it. He is pretty toned.
Okay.
Alright, ready? Acting like I'd not just been borderline perving on his fitness, I nod with what I hope is an innocent smile. Yeah, let's go. What? It's on display. Am I not allowed to look? Thirsting aside, we get down to business. Malik makes the first serve and we start a tentative rally. It's not too bad, actually. I'm doing a little better than I thought I would. Malik eyes me with focus, seeming to be trying to gauge my skill level.
Hey,
How much badminton have you played before? I genuinely haven't played since school. I always felt like badminton was one of the easier sports, though, so I think it'll be alright.
hey.
Oh ho ho! Confident! He whacks the shuttlecock a little harder as he sends it back to me. What a funny name.
Seriously?
Think you can beat me? I take a bigger stride, reaching down and making it fly over the net again. I don't know, but I'll give it my best shot. We laugh in playful competition, and the conversation runs dry for a short while as we focus on the game. Man, if I had known that Malik's route would have involved physical exercise, I might have put it off till later. At least we're getting it out of the way now, right? I get the feeling that Malik might be holding back a little, but I still keep up with him decently enough. We keep score, giggling whenever one of us misses the shuttlecock and sends it spinning out of bounds. Whether he's being modest or not, Malik seems to really enjoy exercise. He almost radiates a buzzing energy as he moves, and there's a constant smile on his face. I guess this is really his thing. Are you big into badminton then? Yep. Not badminton specifically, I just like sports in general. It checks out, considering his athletic physique. I bet you were one of the biggest jocks in high school. I say this teasingly, and he grins briefly before shaking his head.
In fact.
Actually, no. Far from it. Really? My questions distract him enough that he swings badly at the shuttlecock. And it lands on the other side of the net. Ah, shit. Your point. He gazes at me as he picks it up.
Totally.
Yeah, I was kind of unpopular in school, and definitely didn't have the confidence for many sports. I was a quiet kid, not very cool, not many close friends, or relationships either. Are you describing yourself here, or me? He laughs, and I chuckle too. I can't believe he wasn't a hot, popular jock type. He seems to have that kind of thing written all over him. Well, you could have fooled me. You seem way more slick and skilled now. You're probably going to beat me at this no problem. A competitive fire blazes in his eyes when I say this.
Oh?
Oh yeah? Want to see if you're right? Bring it on! The two of us giggle, springing into action and starting another rally. This time, it's much more heated. We play for a while longer, and I genuinely give it everything I have. Being around Malik's high spirits makes exercising feel much more fun than it usually does. In the end, Malik does win, but not by a lot. I'd actually managed to give him some stiff competition. Go me! I don't feel so bad about myself now. The midday sun glares down at us hotly, and I feel like I need a break. My clothes are starting to get damp with sweat, and so are Malik's from what I can see. He brushes his hair out of his face, panting slightly, and gestures to the side of the court with his racket.
I was thinking.
Want to catch your breath for a bit? I think we've earned it. Sounds good. We abandon the net in unison, throwing our rackets down on the warm ground. Without talking about it, we automatically gravitate toward a couple of nearby trees, enjoying their shade.
Hey,
Here! I turn at the sound of his voice, and have to react quickly. He's reached into his bag and pulled out 2 bottles of water, tossing one to me with barely any warning. First full Malik illustration? Coming up, I guess. I scramble a bit, but manage to catch it. Nodding at him in thanks, I wrench it open and gulp about half the contents down in one go. That's nice. Neither of us speak for a few minutes, simply basking in the coolness of the trees and water. When I'm feeling a bit more energized, I look back up at him. Is it hot in here? Or is it just Malik? Wow, look at all these trophies I haven't gotten yet. Look at all these hidden trophies. I guess we'll see what happens next. Our eyes meet as he takes a drink. His gaze is steady, as though he's thinking about something to me. Thinking about saying something to me. Luckily, I don't have to wait long to find out what it is. Yeah, so... sports are actually a somewhat recent passion of mine. I got into them properly when I was around 24, so about 5 years ago. Pretty sure I won't be getting a plat in this game. I could easily get the plat in this game if I wanted. I just finish all the routes, hold the skip button, and get all the bad endings I want. But that's for future me to figure out. So he's a year older than me. Noted. Hey, Idiot Skull is 28. Idiot Skull is 28. Lore unlocked.
in fact.
I never really felt like I was passionate about anything before then. Like I didn't have any hobbies that I was serious about. Once I realized how much I liked sports, I felt like my life improved a lot. I met loads of new people too, from joining different teams and doing local games. Isn't there all kinds of research that says that, like, exercising actually improves your mental health? Like, there is actual research that exercising releases, like, chemicals in your brain that make you feel happier. I might be wrong. But yeah, I mean, if you go from hardly any to doing it all the time, like what Malik's doing, I absolutely can see that making a huge difference. His face starts to glow with joy. I guess he likes sharing this part of his life. It definitely sounds like a good way to make friends, and healthy too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! All the best people I know I met through sports. It's opened me up to new experiences. He grows thoughtfully, taking another sip of water.
Oh.
It did kind of have to leave most of them behind when I moved so far away. That sucks, but the real friends have kept in contact, so I can't complain. Kinda useful, actually. Now I know who the snakes are. He shoots me a wide grin as we laugh. Once again, I find myself both admiring his sense of adventure and pitying how much he's left behind. Well, I'm sure once you start joining new groups here, you'll make friends in the city in no time. You'd be an asset to any team from what I can see. He smiles bashfully, and a blush creeps into his speckled cheeks. Huh. I never noticed the freckles this much before. Genuinely, neither had I. Like, I didn't see them until they were pointed out. It might not actually show up on the on the stream, but they're actually very visible on my end. They're quite cute.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, thanks, but I don't think I have to look too far for new friends. I've made some pretty sweet connections already. His big brown eyes lock onto mine warmly, and I feel my stomach fluttering a little. He means me. I don't know what to say in response, so I simply smile back at him. The moment turns a bit sheepish, but it feels kind of nice. After a few seconds, Malik straightens up, chugging the last of his water.
Hey,
I said it before, but thanks for all the help at work. It's been nice to get started with you and spend time together. We have to hang out more if you're up for it. Oop. Back one. Wow, he genuinely likes me. I feel like I should stop being so surprised whenever he says stuff like that, but it always catches me off guard. Absolutely. Give me a call anytime. He smiles, nodding at the rackets on the floor.
exactly.
Especially if a rematch is in the cards. I want to see what secret skills you might be hiding in those skinny arms of yours. His tongue pokes out from behind his teeth cheekily as he laughs, and I giggle in response. Skinny arms? Really? I took that personally, Malik. That's it then. We'll just have to keep meeting up for matches until I beat you.
Hey.
I'll hold you to that. We laugh, and the way he keeps looking at me is almost kind of intense. Is he flirting? Or am I misreading it? Not sure. But either way, I feel like I'm starting to get butterflies whenever our eyes meet. Once we'd regained some of our energy, we had another badminton session. We classed it as an extension of the first game, but Malik still won. I definitely need to find something I can kick his ass at. Tired out for the day, we get our stuff together and head out to the front of the building. Well, I'm tired out. Malik seems more hyped up, if anything.
I like that.
There's people who get some sort of a sick pleasure from punishing their bodies. Like, I watched a big YouTuber who they used to make content where they just traveled the world. Now they do all kinds of incredibly demanding physical challenges. Like, earlier this year, they ran a ultra marathon, which means that they ran 100 miles in something like 30 hours. It was something ridiculous. Like, they ran it 100 miles in less than a day and a half. Maybe it was 40 hours, but less than 2 days. And I can't imagine that. I can't imagine why anyone would want to do that, but this guy did it. And when it was over, he was sitting there. He was lying down trying to get feeling back in his legs, blisters on his toes, not able to keep any food down, hardly able to keep water down. He did it. He broke his goal by all of 30 minutes. And the very first words out of his mouth were, "I can't wait to see what I do next." I can't imagine doing that. Some people are just gluttons for punishment. Why? I don't imagine. I can kind of understand why people do regular marathons or half marathons. It's like a small goal. Trying to just be able to do something that intense just for the sake of doing it, I understand. But ultra marathons and just all of these things, it's why? Because they enjoy it. Something is very, very wrong with those kinds of people. Is it that different from a sport like boxing? Yeah, boxing's over in 3 minutes. Boxing, you have an opponent. Marathons, you're just hurting yourself. There's no one else. It's just you, your body, and your love for being hurt. Anyway. Thanks for the fun time. I'm glad I finally got around to checking this place out. I'll definitely be back. For round 2, right? He points a finger gun my way. Hell yeah! We chuckle again. I feel like I've almost done nothing but laugh since we met up.
Okay.
Alright, see you in the office. Yeah, catch you later. He reaches his hand out for one of his usual bro shakes, and I grab it. This is different, though. I swear he lingers for longer than usual, squeezing his pale fingers between his warm, slightly sweaty ones. I don't even mind the stickiness. It's drowned out by the electricity I feel in my hand. Ah, static. Yeah, you get that when you've been running around on concrete. Might want to consider using different shoes than sneakers. With a familiar smile, he lets me go, turning to leave.
Later.
Bye, Skull. See ya. Okay. I swivel around in the opposite direction, heading toward the train station. As I stride, I feel as though I notice my heartbeat more prominently than usual. That was really something. Seeing his passion for sports, hearing more about his life and the way he looked at me, that handshake. Well, it wasn't really a shake in the end, was it? We basically held hands for a moment. I feel like I should try to be rational about this. We've only known each other a few days. It's probably not sensible to start drooling over him this early, especially if I'm not sure how he feels about it. Today just kind of suggested something to me. And I can't lie. I like it. I like him. Is there a chance we could be more than friends? I'm not sure. I definitely need to try to figure out if his long glances and cheeky lines are just his personality, or whether he's insinuating something. He is a friendly guy, but was that all he meant? That goodbye makes me think otherwise. Now, I need to calm down. I feel like I must be blushing super hard right now. I'm glad that he likes me in any way at all. But maybe next time I see him, I'll try dropping some subtle hints and see if he picks up on them. If I'm right, and he does feel that same way, then he'll probably make it more obvious. Walking faster, I try not to think too hard about it, but it's almost impossible not to. I haven't felt this excited over someone for quite a while. Yeah, not since last week when we ended up getting Ash. So I'm just going to make it my headcanon, whether this is correct or not, that all of Idiot Skull's past that he shared with Ash about all of his previous relationships, the toxicity, the restraining orders, that all of that carries over to current Moron Skull with Malik. That past is still identical, it's just that we're with a different person now. I'm going to assume that that's all still correct. I won't deny it. It's pretty nice. Which means that this probably isn't the first time that this skull has felt this way about someone. Oh yeah, you can play Doom on it, right? The room is filled with its usual sounds of clacking keyboards and pages being turned. As I'm checking my work for errors, another noise catches my ear. The groaning of a creaking chair. Yeah, I knew. You can run Doom on anything these days. Looking up, I notice Lydia stretching lazily in her seat, pouting sulkily. Hanging in there, Lydia?
Oh, man.
Yeah, just bored. I wish the weekend would hurry up and get here. There's a collective sigh of agreement from everyone else in the room. Got plans then? Yeah. What's today? Sunday? Today is currently Sunday, at least it is where I live. And I'm already looking forward to the next weekend. Mostly because this week is going to suck. But don't need to talk about that. This is a happy stream. This is a happy stream where we play a happy video game where everyone's happy, they live happily ever after, the end. Nothing bad ever happens ever in this game. Got plans then?
Oh?
No, just can't wait to not have spreadsheets burnt into my vision every time I close my eyes. We all chuckle, knowing the feeling exactly.
What's the deal?
What about last weekend? Anyone get up to anything good? The question bounces around the room as people chime in with answers. Apparently, Brianna just had a quiet weekend in with her housemates. Oh, she has housemates. Sean visited his parents, and Ash bought a new game.
Oh?
What about you, Skull? Actually, Malik and I played badminton on Saturday. I point to him as I say his name, and he smiles from across the room. My brain instantly starts replaying parts of the day, flooding me with fondness. I'd really enjoyed getting closer to Malik. Possibly a bit too much.
Is that so?
Oh? I didn't take you for the sporty type, Skull. I can't help but laugh. Well, you'd be right there. I'm not normally. Malik really brought it out of me. I glance at him again. He grins, standing up and wandering toward my desk.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a pretty heated match in the end. As we're silently bonding over the memory, I see Sean shooting us that trademark look that suggests that he's about to say something inappropriate.
Uh-huh.
So what you're saying is that you two spent the day getting hot, sweaty, and panting all over each other? He seems proud of his innuendo, wiggling his eyebrows at us. The rest of the office bursts out laughing.
Right.
What? I mean, you are kind of close. All those bro fists and in jokes. There's got to be something going on, right? Wow. Aggressive. I can tell he's mostly just messing around, but there is a spark of curiosity in his eyes. He's genuinely fishing for gossip. I try not to blush. Neither Malik or I have made any moves yet when it comes to hinting about romantic feelings. Our office interactions have become a bit more bold, though. Malik seems to hold my hand for a second too long every time we say hi now, and he doesn't seem shy about letting everyone else see it. Again, not necessarily a flirt, but it could be. Shaking off my whirling thoughts, I try to shoot a sarcastic comment back at Sean to deflect his suspicions. However, Malik beats me to it.
Jeez.
Oh, zip it, Sean. He halts behind my chair, placing a hand on my shoulder.
Yeah?
You're just jealous you weren't there. The others whoop with relish. Malik simply stares Sean down with a playful smirk, completely unbothered about the scandal. Sean doesn't challenge him on it, admitting defeat and laughing. The ruckus dies down, and everyone starts to go back to work. The scene seems to have livened up the day a bit. I feel Malik's hand leave my shoulder, and I spin around in my chair to look at him. To my surprise, he smiles at me in a way that's, I don't know, intimate? More meaningful than how he'd been smiling a second ago? Then he strides back to his desk without another word, leaving me feeling strangely warm. Damn, he has an effect on me! Honestly, I'd really like to ask him out. I'm not sure if he'd be open to it, but all the signs seem to be pointing in the right direction so far. Maybe I could just wait for one more signal from him. Something undeniable that tells me he feels the same way. So sorry. Stay hydrated. Then I'll know for sure that I'm not setting myself up to fail. So I'm curious, Borealis, how did you come up with all the personalities for each of the characters, especially the three that you get picked from, Brianna, Malik, and Ash? Did you just come up with them on the fly, or are they like based off of people you know in real life? Do tell. All right, that's decided. Come on, Malik. Don't let me down. Work done for the day, I'm flipping through the TV channels, looking for something to spend my evening on. Game show, not really my thing. Crime documentary, maybe. Drama. Oh, a football game. Malik would like this. I feel myself smile as I watch the athletes on the screen huddle around the ball. And then it hits me. Oh my God, Skull! You're swooning over sports! You don't like sports! Except when the Yankees lost. Wow, what must it be like to be a Yankees fan right now? Yeah, that's gotta be embarrassing. Then I like sports a lot. This is how bad you've got it from Malik. I do a real-life facepalm at my own lameness. I gotta stop thinking about him. Before long, I'll be supporting the local baseball team. We're getting hot under the collar every time I see a pair of running shoes. Flipping through the channel, I look for something I actually want to watch. Just as my flustered thoughts are calming down, a noise distracts me. My phone has a notification. I reach across the couch and grab it. No way. Malik. Did I somehow summon him with my flirty thoughts? I open his text. That banter in the office was pretty funny today, huh? Sorry I didn't get a chance to catch up with you properly before we left. Yeah, I remember he was talking to Lydia and Ash about something, and we didn't have our usual walk to the main doors together. A second text comes in. I'll make it up to you, though. How about that rematch whenever you're free? We could get hot and sweaty all over again. Holy crap! He even put a winking emoji at the end! I know that this is typical Malik playfulness, but I kinda can't help but read between the lines. This has to be it. The signal I was waiting for. He wants to spend time with me again. Not just the two of us. And he's bringing back that sexy suggestion without any shame whatsoever. My body hums with energy, and I text him back, telling him to bring his A game. Next time we see each other outside of work, I think things might escalate between us. It's absolutely fair, Borealis. That's kind of what I expected happened. Yeah, when you have a character with a distinct personality and you throw them with other characters with their own distinct personalities, yeah, they tend to write themselves. It's really cool when that happens. Well, I never thought I'd be this enthusiastic about anything in my life. I'm practically hopping from foot to foot in eagerness as I wait for Malik, ready to prove myself on the court today as best I can. I've got to beat him this time. We'd agreed to try squash for a change instead of badminton. I've never played it, but it's a pretty similar concept, so how much harder can it be? Squash is a really hard sport. Glancing down at myself, I get embarrassed at my clothing. Another haphazard mess of things that vaguely pass as being suitable for exercise. If this is going to become a regular thing, I'll probably go out and buy some legit sportswear. Then I won't look like such a dork next to everyone else. I wait impatiently for another minute, and then I spot Malik coming around the corner. I wave cheerfully, and he waves back. Hey, nice to see you again.
What's up?
Yeah, you too. I extend my arm like usual, but... Oh? No handshake. He doesn't meet me in the middle. Is something wrong? In fact, the more I look at him, the more unlike himself he seems. I swear the energetic glint in his eyes is a bit more dull than it normally is. You okay?
Sure thing.
Sure am. Want to go in? He jerks his head toward the door, but none of this seems right to me. I've never seen him this quiet before. Are you sure you're all right? You seem a bit flat.
Huh?
Flat? He puts on what I can tell is a false display of surprise, and then gives up the act. This is new post. Alright, you got me. I've kinda got something on my mind. He folds his arms and gazes at the ground, seeming conflicted. I'm not sure if he's the type of guy who likes to talk about his problems or distract himself instead. He has been pretty open with me so far, though, so maybe he'll appreciate it if I lend him an ear? We don't have to do squash straight away if he'd rather talk about it.
Well...
Nah. He kicks at the dirt, looking annoyed at himself.
I
don't want to drag things down. You came here for a game. I know, but I'd rather cheer you up first if I can. The game can wait. He looks up properly when I say this, and our eyes meet for a few seconds. I can't work out what he's thinking, but then...
I appreciate that.
You're a real sweetheart, you know that? Maybe we can grab a drink somewhere and chat. I feel like I should probably explain something to you. Explain? I can't guess what it could be, but I'm happy to hear it. Of course. Come on, I know where to go. That C looks really, really bold. Maybe it's just my screen or something, but that C right there looks like it's really thick for some reason. I smile at him reassuringly, and he nods in appreciation as we leave the sports center behind for now. It's not too long before we're sitting across from each other at my favorite cafe. Well, our favorite cafe at this point. We've been here a couple more times together since that first week.
I like that.
Thanks for bringing me here, Skull. Good shout. He shoots me a grateful look over his hot chocolate, which he stirs slowly. I couldn't go for a hot drink in this heat, but I guess he's craving the comfort it brings. So, what's on your mind? There's no pressure to tell me anything, but I'm here for whatever you want to say. Burger and fries, aw man, the ultimate comfort food. And macaroni and cheese. He stops stirring, and I can almost see the cogs whirring in his head as he figures out how to begin. Well, I know this probably doesn't seem like it's related, but I promise it is. You know, I was talking about my school days last weekend? Yeah?
That's the way it is.
They kind of have an effect on how I do things now. There are things that still bother me, and I try to do the opposite of what I did then. His face grows uncharacteristically glum as he thinks.
Yeah?
I said I wasn't popular or attractive back then, right? I don't remember anything about you not being attractive.
Oh.
Oh. Well, it's true. I can't believe that for a second. I don't mean to derail him, but that statement sounds all kinds of wrong to me. He's a really handsome guy.
In fact,
No, seriously. I was a bit of a chubster, and the freckles didn't help. He points to his face, and my mouth falls open in dismay. You were bullied for your freckles? He nods. Why? They're super cute. Shit! I didn't mean to say that. I hope it wasn't too forward. Thankfully, he seems to like the compliment.
seriously?
You think so? Thanks. I swear he blushes for a split second, but then he goes back to his story. But yeah, I wasn't close with anyone, and I kind of felt like I went through life as a spectator, if that makes sense. In the middle of it all, but not actually a part of anything. Total sense. Mild self-insert moment there. You love freckles. Freckles can be cute. My wife has freckles and they're super adorable. I felt that a lot when I was at school too. There were people I could have passing, pointless chit-chat with, but not much more than that. I was a pretty big loner. That meant that I had a sort of late start to dating too, and I was pretty out of my depth. All the other guys my age already had different experiences with relationships, and I didn't. I had a couple of relationships eventually, but neither of them felt right. I don't think I was very good at them. No idea what I was doing, no concept of how to be relaxed and open with someone. Wow, this seriously goes against everything I assumed about Malik. He comes across as so self-assured and pretty reliable boyfriend material. Who'd have guessed that he blossomed from such a rough patch of ground?
I don't really.
That kind of background doesn't really give me the most confidence when it comes to relationships, you know? It's been on my mind more than usual recently. Huh, so is he telling me this as a way of warning me against any further flirting? Or is he just struggling? I don't think it's a barrier. He seems genuinely insecure, like he just wants some reassurance. If that's the case, then he came to the right person. Well, I might not have the best advice, but I totally feel you on a lot of that. I never had any proper friends in school either. I was kind of on the sidelines of everything. I've had more relationships than you, but considering how they went, it's nothing to be jealous of.
Oh?
No? No hot summer flings or deep emotional connections? I can hear the humor in his voice and it makes me grin a little. Nope, not at all. I probably didn't end up with people who were right for me. There was a lot of arguing, blame, secrecy. My mood starts to darken as I remember it all. I usually ended up getting ditched, and one of them, a fog of memories begins to fill my mind, and what I see within isn't nice. Taking a breath, I continue, filtering out everything except what I want to tell Malik. One of them cheated on me. It was such a shock when I found out. His eyes grew intense with shock as he gazes at me.
That's kind of rough.
No. That sucks. Who'd be enough of an idiot to cheat on you? Didn't they realize how good they had it? The kind words knock me out of my funk for a second, and I look across at him. His expression softens with some kind of affection, and I feel mine do the same. He's only known me a little while, but he already considers me an asset to a relationship. Well, yeah. Anyway, it wasn't good. Not that that was the worst experience I've had.
Huh?
Someone did something worse than cheating? I hum in gloomy agreement. My last ex was someone I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. We were really in it for the long term. Well, I was anyway. I was serious about her, but I guess she didn't see me the same way after all. My stomach clenches as I recall it. She ended up serving me the papers, and that was that. Single again, lost everything I'd been planning for with her. Okay, I was right. Same backstory across all of the routes. We know what skull means here. Poor Malik. You poor fool. Got no clue. I'm not looking directly at Malik now, but I hear a soft, slow gasp coming from his side of the table.
What?
What? God, I'm sorry, Skull. You're way too young to be divorced. You deserve better. Divorced. Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything more about that. Well, divorce seems to be the theme of my life anyway. My parents got one when I was about 10. Maybe they were preparing me for the future. I laughed darkly, seeing no point in getting angry about it. I'd rather just deflect it with humor.
Sorry to hear.
Well, shit, Skull. You've been through it all, haven't you? I feel like a schmuck for bringing up my past when it's not even on the same level. No, don't be silly. We all have our insecurities. A brief silence falls between us, but it isn't awkward. just a bit disgruntled. I guess neither of us has had a great time with relationships.
In fact,
I do admire you though, Skull.
you're good.
If you've had to deal with all that and you're still this awesome, then you must be a pretty damn good person. I can't say that. Oh, it's so, oh, that's painful. I actually feel wounded. Oh, that hurt. You must be a pretty damn good person. Who said I was awesome? That blush creeps back in ever so slightly.
Yeah?
Me? The two of us break into shy giggles. Seems like no matter how depressing things get, Malik and I can flirt our way out of anything.
Seriously?
But seriously, thanks for being so open with me about this stuff. It's actually really nice to understand you better like that. I brought this whole thing up in the first place because... He trails off, looking away. This time his face turns fully red. Whatever he's thinking about must be really personal. The whole relationship situation is kind of relevant to what I've been feeling lately. I wish I had more confidence in that area, cause He almost squirms in his seat. And I can't believe the sudden change in him. Who is this and what have they done with Malik?
I love this.
I think I'm really getting a crush on you, Skull. He really just came out and said that. Wait, it's not sinking in. Let me replay that in my head. I think I'm really getting a crush on you, Skull. Okay, that's funny. What? He actually feels the same way? Time seems to stand still for a second, and I have to force my jaw not to fall open in shock. Everything I've been thinking about. It could actually happen? What have you been thinking about? Malik starts giggling bashfully, and I can't help but do the same. The pair of us laugh instead of talking, shifting awkwardly in our chairs and fanning ourselves. Well, there's no going back from that. You really feel that way?
That's how I feel.
Yeah. Do you? Yeah. I cut him off before he can finish asking the question. I definitely feel the same, Malik. His reaction is everything. The cute little creases around his eyes as he smiles makes my stomach flip.
Oh, thanks.
Wow, that's okay. I'm glad we clarified that. We giggle again and then he settles down. Because of all that stuff I just told you, I've been kind of hesitant to actually try to start something between us. I feel better about myself nowadays, but there's always some kind of doubt in the back of my head. You know, that I'm not the best person for this. He doesn't seem that down anymore, but there is a hint of uncertainty inside his hopeful gaze.
I was thinking.
If we do start something, I want it to be good for both of us. No letdowns on my part. I honestly can't imagine that Malik could let me down. If his only sin is that he's not that experienced with serious relationships, then he's already a million times better than most people I've dated. I really don't think you have to worry, Malik. You've already been super open and sweet to me, and that's before we even mentioned dating. It's totally up to you. I get why you'd be hesitant about it, and I respect that. But honestly, I'm going to say it. There's kinda nothing I want more right now than to be with you. Eek! My cheeks hurt from blushing! I'm ready for it if you are, but I'm not going to pressure you to do anything. You have completely valid reasons to wait. I really want him to know that for sure. I don't expect anything from him if he's not ready to give it. He doesn't reply straight away. His eyes flick between me and his half-empty cup. I guess he's mulling it over.
In fact,
You know, after today, I feel like you're even more amazing than I thought you were. The way his eyes shine proves that he really means it.
oh,
I feel like we're a lot closer now, don't you think? Yeah, definitely. I think I'll... He pauses one last time. Order a burger and fries.
hey,
Can you give me a little time to think about it? I want to be sure I've got my head straight. Of course. Take all the time you need.
you're the best.
He seems to emit a warm glow as he smiles, and I beam back at him. I'm so glad we could talk like this and address these feelings properly. Part of me is still super giddy about the fact that he actually wants to date me. I was kind of convinced that I'd go on fantasizing about him forever without anything actually happening between us. Knowing that he genuinely likes me back. Huh? Something's touching me under the table. Malik's foot. He's bumping it against my leg flirtily. Shamelessly. And I love it. Okay, we won't need this anymore. We're right there. Seems like a good place to stop for today. We have begun the Malik route. Man, I'm nervous. Because we know what the OP, we know what the narrator is as a person. Malik doesn't, and I am very, very scared. But also hopeful because, hey, kind of looks like Malik can do Skull some good. It kind of looks like the very tiny part of Skull that still has humanity and a soul can do him some good in return. All right, well. Thank you, as always, to Borealis for being here and answering all my questions. I'll try and think of some more questions to ask you next week. Thank you to Dimlord and Andrew Raya for popping in as well. Shout out to the lurkers and shout out to everyone watching on YouTube afterwards. I'll be back next Sunday, continuing my playthrough of True Colors: A Date with Deception, and this Tuesday I am going to be playing the demo for Starlight Legacy, which is fun. That sounds like a fun game, so yeah. Nope, definitely not the same story. All right. Well, stuff for us to look forward to. And of course, once we're done with Malik, we still have Brianna, the girl who may or may not be a natural blonde. I guess we'll see. On behalf of East Asia Soft, I have been Skull. Have yourselves a great day and a great week, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.